Tonight, will anyone ever admit they knew how dangerous the cladding was on Grenfell Tower? Good evening. From the morning of the Grenfell fire, in which 72 people died, it was clear the cladding on the building had played a part in accelerating the flames, with huge chunks littering the ground around the tower in North Kensington. Today, the inquiry heard about an email that was sent before the fatal fire, where the council specifically asked the company in charge of the Grenfell refurbishment, a company called Ryden, about the fire safety of that cladding. Well, Rags Martell heard today that no one from Ryden ever replied to that email. A year ago, Liam Dent went to the pub with friends. An argument started between the group the 25-year-old was in and another group. Later that evening, he was killed in a hit and run. His body dragged for half a mile down the road. No one has been charged with his murder, leaving a family desperate for answers and his son without a father. Chloe Keedy reports. Police are investigating after 3 men were stabbed in a pub in Abbey Wood. A group of around 10 men wearing masks and gloves. The Mayor's plan to move politicians and staff out of London's City Hall within a year could be torpedoed by planning rules. Sadiq Khan has said the move would save £11 million, but a senior official today said the full cost was unclear. Well, Simon Harris is live at City Hall this evening. So, Simon, this could end up not being as big a money saver as the Mayor had hoped for. Next, for more than a decade, a group has been campaigning for a statue in Hyde Park dedicated to the victims of the slave trade. It has been approved by Westminster Council and the Royal Parks, but it still doesn't have the funding to be built. Well, it's hoped the recent protests and conversations about the teaching of British history may mean it is finally completed. It's also drawn attention to the lack of representation of statues in the capital, as Carolyn Sim reports. Idris Elba will receive one of BAFTA's highest honours later this month when he's given the Special Award for Television. Boosting diversity within the creative industries is the mission of a new initiative. Create Not Hate 2020 is designed to drive positive change by tapping into the talents and creativity of young people of colour. Well, the man behind it is Trevor Robinson. We've spoken a lot on this programme about the woes of the big West End theatres and the difficulties of getting the doors open again to audiences. But some smaller immersive theatre experiences have already found a way. The Crystal Maze live experience has reopened, but far from PPE being an obstacle, they've worked out how to make it part of the fun. But the concern for all venues, no matter the size, is the lack of tourists, which make up their many customers. Martin Stew reports. Dame Vivienne Westwood locked herself in a cage this morning, dressed as a canary, in a protest outside the Old Bailey. Now, you may remember a little girl named Hasti, who we featured on the programme more than 2 months ago. 8-year-old Hasti has CDLS, a rare genetic disease that affects growth, speech and movement. Her family is trying to raise money for her to receive gene therapy and also for vital research into the disease. Well, last time we... Sally is here. Sally.
Bread and croissants and all that. But in the most unique circumstances, he set up a business because he's on a...
She didn't fall in, that's the main thing. And that is it. We are back with the latest after ITV News at 10. Coming up, Charlene White with the ITV Evening News. But from me and the rest of the London team, bye-bye.